try again with a Champions League draw. Obviously, it happened a little while ago, and they got it wrong. United were in a pot they weren't supposed to be in. I think Atletico as well. So they got a few things wrong with the draw and the pots. So they're having to redraw the whole thing again. UEFA's problem, UEFA's fault. But we're about to get back into it. Welcome if you're joining in. First team out is going to be so first out is Salzburg. So they will be at home in their last 16 game. I don't know how they cocked it up, to be honest. It's an old system that they use. They've never changed it, so I don't know why there's been so much confusion and muck ups, but we're going again. So they're just putting the balls into the pots, hopefully the right ones this time, into the right pots. Salzburg, as I said, are the home team, and they will go up against whoever. Just waiting for them to Arshavin to draw the ball out. And they get Bayern Munich. So Salzburg at home to Bayern Munich in their first game. That's going to be a very tough game for Salzburg. I think Bayern Munich are arguably the favourites to win the whole tournament. So I'll have left the other draw video up that I did earlier. I may make it private at some point because now the matches and fixtures are void. But just for content, I might leave it up. Sporting are out second. So they're the second home team. I wouldn't mind getting Sporting, to be honest. But we'll get who we get. I mean, it'd be a joke if we get someone like Man City, or I don't know if we can draw teams from our own country, but if we get someone as hard as PSG anyway, like, I know they'd have to do the redraw anyway because they got it wrong with their rules, and so it's going to be Sporting to take on Manchester City, which is interesting. I feel that City should have enough for that, but Sporting could cause some problems for them. And the first game is at home for Sporting, so they can pick up a result in the first leg. They stand a good chance, but I think City should go through with that. Next up, we got Benfica. And Liverpool and United can potentially draw against these, as some others could as well. But the English teams are us and Liverpool. It's going to be interesting this year as well with the no away goal rule. It's always been there since I've been alive watching football, so it's going to make that more interesting, I think. So Benfica will play Ajax, who the form team right now, not lost a game yet, I don't think. Flying high. Interesting matchup in that one. See, before Ajax did all this in the group with their form, I probably would have gone Benfica, but I think it's quite up in the air, that one. So Chelsea out next. I mean, Chelsea and Liverpool are going to feel hard done by now if they get harder matchups. And you can't blame them for that. I think in the future they'll probably get computers to do the draws. It'll be so much quicker. So Chelsea will play Lille. That's who they got the first time. So that Chelsea will probably be relieved again because they got exactly the same draw. So next up we've got Atletico Madrid. Just got a feeling it might be United. I think it has to be us or Juventus though. So if I'm right. So I think it's either gonna be Manchester United or Juventus, I believe, and I've got a feeling it's us. Atletico are a tough side, very tough, and it is. I had a feeling, and it's happened. Atletico against Manchester United. That I don't fancy our chances. I've got to admit, a tough outfit. I think that's harder than PSG. I really do. Villarreal next. Yeah, not feeling confident about that game now. I'd have fancied our chances more against PSG. So Villarreal should be against Juventus, I think. Obviously, Villarreal, recent history with Manchester United causing us problems, beating us in the Europa final. I think Juventus will have enough to get through that game, both legs. I see Juventus going through in that. Inter are out next. My favourite Italian team. They will get Liverpool. That's very interesting. I know Lukaku's gone now and Young's gone from Inter when they won the league, but they still got good players at Inter, and I think that's a very interesting draw against Liverpool. I feel like Liverpool are better than Inter, but it should make for an entertaining two games, I feel. So I feel like it's not an easy game for Liverpool, and I think that they'll be challenged, but I think Liverpool will have enough to get through that. But I'm excited for that matchup. PSG are out next, and they will play Real Madrid. Big game. It's hard to call that one. Madrid are flying in Spain, and I believe PSG are in France. I think I fancy Madrid a bit more than PSG, but I feel like they could both cancel each other out, and it could go either way in that one. But I'm going to go with Madrid. Massive game though, PSG and Real Madrid. So that is it, guys. That is the result. We've got Salzburg in Bayern Munich, Sporting Manchester City, Benfica Ajax, Chelsea Lille, Atletico Madrid versus Manchester United, Villarreal versus Juventus, Inter Milan versus Liverpool, and PSG versus Real Madrid. Some big games in there. Obviously, I think we've got a harder game than PSG now, getting drawn against Atletico. We have to beat the best teams at that point, unless you get really lucky with the draws. And I'm not shying away from it, but I don't think we'll get through them two legs against that sort of team. I don't think we're at that level yet. I think we've done well to get out of the group and into the knockouts, considering all the changes and everything that's been going on. But I fancy Atletico for that game, I've got to admit, for both legs. So, but some big games in there. PSG Madrid is very interesting. Chelsea getting Lille again, so they'll be happy. Man City, Sporting. I feel City should go through. I think Chelsea go through, and I think Liverpool go through. But I think Atletico will knock out Manchester United, and I hate to say it, but I just think that we're not. It's going to be too difficult a task and too big of a task to get past that sort of team at this stage. If we'd have got a Benfica or a Salzburg, I think we might have gone through. It still would have been tough, but would have fancied our chances more. But getting Atletico now, it's tough. It's very tough. Um, look, they cocked up the draw earlier. We've now come out in a harder game, I think. Even though PSG, I don't think they're as a fluent as gelled team as Atletico are. Simeone knows a certain way to play there. He knows his players. He's been with them a long time. And I think it's one of the toughest games you can get. So for Manchester United, I don't think it bodes well unless we rise to the task and obviously are successful, which I think is going to take a lot. I still look forward to the game, but at the same time, it makes me very I'm not confident about it. But it is what it is. Some big games now. I'm looking very forward to the PSG Real Madrid game. And the Inter Milan Liverpool game as well. So hopefully you enjoy this one, guys. I'm probably going to make the other draw I did earlier private because the matchups are void and null, and so they don't count for anything now. So, but this one is here for you guys, up to date draw. This one should stand now and be official. Hopefully, we won't have to have a third draw going, but. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll be back later today with my Premier League predictions for the Tuesday and Wednesday games. So look out for that, guys, and I'll see you soon.